It's that time of year, y'all, where I make terrible theories about the latest Rick Riordan book that's coming out. So last week, the official cover and excerpt for the Tyrant'S Tomb, the fourth book in the Trials of Apollo series by Rick Riordan, was released. When it was announced that the cover and excerpt were released, someone actually messaged me about it on GOODREADS, and they were like, "Oh my god, I cannot wait for your theories video on the Tyrant'S Tomb cover and excerpt." And I was like, oh my god, I've like reached stardom because people know me for these type of videos. Like, that's the ultimate compliment, so thank you very much. I am very excited to be talking about the cover and excerpt today because I haven't talked about Rick Riordan in a while and I've really missed it. I have so many theories and thoughts and feelings about the Tyrant'S Tomb cover and excerpt, so I'm just gonna get started. But I do want to say, if you haven't read any of the Trials of Apollo books, especially the Burning Maze, then you're gonna want to leave because I'm going to be spoiling major things from this book, and I swear to God, you do not want to get spoiled for this book, okay? Because your life will be ruined. Some huge stuff happens in this, so just go read it and come back here and you'll understand why I gave this warning. So just go read it, okay? I don't want you to get spoiled. Alrighty, so first, as usual, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts and theories on the cover, and I'm going to show that to you all right now. My first immediate thought when I saw the cover was, oh my god, it's Raina! We find out at the end of the Burning Maze that Raina, a Camp Jupiter Praetor and Bellona's daughter and all that great stuff, is going to be playing a huge part in the Tyrant'S Tomb. And even though that was my first thought when I saw the cover, you know, you can never be sure, but Rick Riordan did confirm that this is Raina on the cover. I am so excited to be seeing Raina in this book, and I'm really interested to see what her part is going to be in all of this madness because there's so much crazy stuff going on, and hopefully she survives because I don't want Raina to die. I love her. She's one of the most just amazing girls. She doesn't take no stupid stuff from nobody, and it's just amazing. So on this cover we have Raina and our main lead, Apollo / Lester, climbing up this, like, it's not a building, I cannot think of the word for it, but it's like those electric things that you see. You all know what I'm talking about, right? I can't think of the name for it. But they're climbing up a thing, and Raina has this very long purple cape on, which I'm assuming is like her Praetor robes, whatever they're called, and she has a sword in her hand and she's smacking this huge bird behind her, and Apollo is just like looking at her in both, like, it looks like he's terrified but also amazed at the same time. And then in the corner we have Meg, which honestly it took me a moment to like realize she was also on the cover, so it's actually the three of them, but she's like kind of falling behind because she's like down below, so like Meg needs to catch up unless she wants to die. I really don't feel like I have much to say for this cover. Like, I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite either because there's just like not a lot going on. Like, they're all trying to escape these birds, and that's really it. My theory for this cover is that these birds are evil and they're trying to run away. These birds probably have like an evil owner, so probably chasing that guy, and they're for some reason deciding to climb up into the sky. Who knows why? Maybe there's like a fort there. I don't even know what I'm saying. All I know is that whatever's going on in that scene, it's probably not good. Now I'm gonna be sharing my thoughts and theories on the excerpt, which we actually get 2 chapters in this excerpt, which rarely happens with Rick Riordan books because Rick just keeps things secretive, but I guess he was feeling nice and decided to give us 2 chapters, which fine by me. The first thing that I want to talk about with this excerpt is Jason Grace, because the first time his name appeared in the excerpt, I had to stop and exit out because I was just not emotionally prepared for it. Jason Grace dying is still like such a shock to me, and for a while I was pretty hopeful that like, oh, somehow we can bring him back to life, or like he didn't die. But in this excerpt, Paul's like, oh yeah, his body's in the coffin, you know, my friend is dead. Just saying all this like past tense stuff about Jason. And I was like, Apollo, please shut up. I think Jason deserves so much better, and I really wish he was still alive, but I'm glad that they're taking him back to Camp Jupiter, because I know that's what he would have wanted. Like, that's where he grew up, that's where he's from, that's where most of his friends were from, at least, and it's what he deserves. I am so terrified to see how his friends like Hazel, Frank, and especially Raina are going to react to him being dead. And I don't think I will ever be emotionally prepared for that, because I know like Raina's reaction is gonna kill me, because they were so close, and even though she had romantic feelings for him, like they were still best friends, and that didn't ruin the friendship, so I know that's gonna be really hard. But the excerpt does get lighter after all this talk about deaths, because they land and they rent this hearse thing, and Apollo's just like, I'm supposed to drive this? And we get to see him driving and him and Meg spending time together, and I just really appreciate their bond and how far they've come, because they just have such a unique friendship and I adore them. I think my favorite scene in this excerpt is this conversation between Meg and Apollo, and Meg asks Apollo, you know how to get to Camp Jupiter? Of course, because you said that about Camp Half-Blood. We got there eventually, frozen and half dead. And then, you know, a monster just lands on the roof of their rented hearse and everything just goes downhill. So this monster they fight is a ghoulish humanoid, it says, but they call it a vulture diaper, of course, and I thought that was hilarious. And then they fall into a canyon, because that's just, you know, the usual stuff. And what I love about this monster is that it keeps yelling words like food, kill, eat, just all this stuff about food, and then at one point it goes, want me to eat different food first, save you for dessert. So they're fighting and everything when we have some fawns and GOODREADS show up, and there's also this one human woman there with pink hair and Roman armor. We find out that this girl's name is Lavinia. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but we can assume she's from Camp Jupiter because she's wearing the Roman regalia and stuff. But Apollo explains that he and Meg are transporting Jason's body to Camp Jupiter, and Lavinia is obviously shocked because either she knows Jason or has heard of him, most likely heard, let's be real here, and they decide that they can help you out, and the excerpt ends with them all going to Camp Jupiter. So far, I like this Lavinia girl. She seems legit. I mean, she killed the vulture diaper in like 2 seconds, so you know, that's pretty awesome. But I just can't fully trust like new Rick Riordan characters, because there's always that like fear that they're gonna backstab you in the end, and you know, Lavinia, she definitely could if she wanted to. Why? I don't know. I honestly wish like Raina was in this excerpt, because that would have made things so much more interesting, and I just want to know what her part is in all of this, because so many people have been involved, but with her, you know, at the end of the Burning Maze, they solved that puzzle or prophecy, whatever it was, and like her name was in it. Like, it is written there. So it's like, what does that mean? I think we've always known that Reyna was destined for something great, because at the end of Blood of Olympus, she reveals how Aphrodite told her that her love life was never going to be normal. And I feel like that can also be applied to her life. Like, it's not gonna be normal, not just because she's a demigod, but she is destined for something so powerful. And I feel like her part is going to be huge and change everything. I also really hope that Hazel and Frank play a huge part in this book, because oh my god, they're so underrated and they were robbed in Heroes of Olympus, okay? That's the tea. They are so amazing, but they barely get any time in those books. So I hope we get to see them a lot, and I hope they're doing great, because I love them with everything in me, and I really hope that they come along on the journey, because their powers could definitely help us out. I just hope that in the Tyrant's tomb, no one that I love dies, because I cannot have another Jason Grace. Like, I'm sorry. That was too much for me to handle. And if like Hazel or Frank or Reyna or Paulo or just anyone that I care about dies, I am going to lose my mind. But I think that's all I have to say for the cover and the excerpt. I'm sorry as usual that I don't really have a lot of theories, but honestly, there's not much to theorize on this cover and excerpt. I feel like there's not a lot of information. I don't know if that's just me, but like, that's just how I feel. I hope you all still enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments down below if you have any theories for the Tyrant's Tomb. Please let me know how excited you are for this book. The Tyrant's Tomb comes out September 24th of this year, so it is a little longer wait, but that's okay, because it gives us more time to cope with what happened in the Burning Maze. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I'm Courtney, and I will see you all next time with a new video soon, so I will see you then, so bye!